All right, let's talk about the Colorado Buffs. Got some great news for you Buffalo fans out there. Of course, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders had a really solid offseason. We talked about recently a number of really good moves they've made. And now we've got breaking news at the time of this recording. By the time you guys will hear this, a day will have passed, but it's still like an exciting development for Colorado. Another literally massive move. Let's pull out the report. Then we'll talk about it more in detail on the other side. This is courtesy of 24/7 Sports. West Bloomfield from Michigan, offensive tackle Jay Gardenhire announces commitment to Colorado on Wednesday evening. A 6'8", 350-pound three-star Gardenhire visited the Buffaloes on June 12th, then was offered a scholarship by offensive line coaches Phil Loadholt and Gunnar White the week after. Colorado recruited me like I was a top priority, Gardenhire said. They showed my family and I that they were really wanted me, explained how I would fit in their program. Colorado is a place to be, and I'm glad to be part of the first wave of dogs that will be coming to Boulder. All right, like I alluded to, this is absolutely a huge addition, 6'8", 350-pound size addition for the Colorado Buffs in the line of scrimmage. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. But first, Colorado fans, in the comment section below, we're talking offensive linemen, talking offensive tackles, love talking O-line play. But give us your favorite Colorado Buffs offensive tackle in team history. I believe there's a man who went on to win a few Super Bowls relatively recently who could be at the top of the list, but you can only pick one. Give us your favorite Colorado Buffs tackle and put them in the comment section below. But Miles, what are your thoughts on this latest big move from Colorado and from Coach Prime's staff?
Like this guy's big. I know we talk about this sometimes, and we talk about Colorado. Really, they skill positions knock it out of the park. They really need to work on the trenches, and we've talked about it. They've really done a lot to build the trenches for this coming season. They've had a lot of guys from the transfer portal come in. They've had a lot of new recruits for this 2024 class come in. But I love to see they didn't just say, "All right, we got it. We're gonna move on. Keep doing what we do. We got some guys in the offensive line, should be good." No, they're gonna build for the future. But I want to get back on this subject really fast. 6'8", 350 pounds as a junior in high school is just absurd. For this guy to be this big, the thought that he could potentially grow any more or potentially get any bigger is absolutely bonkers. And I'm gonna pull up the second picture I have just so you can see this guy standing next to some of his teammates looks, because he is the size of an actual NFL lineman, looks like a man versus some like high school, middle school pee wee football boys on the field. This guy looks absolutely ridiculous out there. He just looks like a monster. And I think that this guy is going to be the type of player that probably a little bit underrated just because, he comes out of the state of Michigan. I'm sure there's a lot of great football in Michigan, but it's not your Californias, your Texases, your Floridas, your Ohio's of the world. This guy's going to be a little underrated. He gets on the field, uses that size, learns how to use that size a little bit more. He's going to be an absolute monster for Colorado Buffs. But Nick, again, I think this is just really big for Colorado in the sense that they are now continuing that trend into future years, saying, hey, we want to be big time college football playoff contenders. We know we got to build the trenches, and we're not stopping at one solid season. We're going to continue and move forward with our recruiting plan. So I think great sign for Coach Prime and the Buffs.
Yeah, and Garden Hire, like you alluded to, is an absolutely massive human being, but he's really not that big of a recruit, at least yet. He's rated as a three-star. A lot of 1AA, smaller D1 teams were the majority of his recruiting process up to this point. Obviously, he could rise through the ranks as he gets further along. But I think here's what's really interesting, and here's why I really like this move. You brought up how big this kid is, like what, 6'8", 350 pounds, right? Let's look at Phil Loadholt, right? The coach, the offensive line coach here for Colorado. Here are his stats, his measurables. 6'8", 345 pounds. Loadholt finds another him. And Loadholt played in the National Football League for a number of years, right? He played for the Minnesota Vikings according 2009 to 2015, was an all-rookie team member in 2009, right? Had a good career as an offensive tackle in the National Football League. Played well at the college level, of course, to get drafted, I believe, in the second round. So this is a guy who knows college ball. He knows personally NFL ball. He knows what it takes physically to dominate and excel and how to use certain body types, specifically his body type, to become a great player. And he found his kindred spirit, the next Phil Loadholt, right in front of him, in an underrated recruit that right now isn't taking a lot of effort from Colorado, right? They secured this commitment by being nice to this kid and treating him as a priority, right? That's it. They didn't have to spend to buy him a Lamborghini or some crazy NIL thing like we see from some of these schools. They just said, hey, listen, we found another Phil Loadholt here. He checks all the boxes. We think he could be that kind of player. Let's treat him like the priority that we think he could be, and he'll come to Boulder. And that's exactly what happened. So this is a two-part effort here where Colorado's coaching staff deserves a lot of credit. Not only did they recognize a diamond in the rough that they personally have experience dealing with, right? Phil Loadholt found the next Phil Loadholt here, but they also did a great job by acting on that recognition and making sure they do everything they can, dot all the I's, cross all the T's to make sure they secure the commitment from this kid early in the process. This is phenomenal management from the Colorado Buffs. This is phenomenal talent evaluation from Colorado. Everyone wants to talk about the media hype. Everyone wants to talk about all the different Sanders that are involved with this program at every level. But the reality is, we've talked about it a lot this offseason. This Colorado Buffs program, which again is led by Coach Prime, he gets a lot of credit in this, is making a lot of really smart, sound, strategic decisions as well.